Jameson Olson, the Ninja Jinja from All My Sons Moving and Storage, is an Instagram aficionado. She is an influencer and has found great success with helping realtors revitalize their image and their brand through social media channels like Instagram. If you don't follow her, you'll get her handle here, and there's a lot of great content that is shared. So I'm very happy to welcome Jameson Olson with us today to shed some knowledge on Instagram and leveraging it for your business. Thanks, Jameson.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the wonderful world of Instagram. If you guys want to mute yourselves, because I know some people have to take phone calls during this, that's quite all right. But mute yourself, and if you have a question, I'm not one of those presenters where you can't ask questions during and you have to wait until after. If you do have a question, just go ahead, and because I minimize you guys when I'm doing this, just go ahead and say, hey, Jameson, quick question on that, because I want to answer in the here and now. So because if you have it, everyone else does on that same slide. So welcome to the wonderful world of Instagram. This is a very, this is an overview of all the aspects of it. But for the first thing is, do you guys have a personal page or a business page? If you are a real estate agent, I get asked this question all the time. Should I have a personal page or should I have a business page? As a realtor, I always suggest having one. It's hard enough maintaining one, let alone two. But as a real estate agent, I always say have one. And if you ask the other social media influencers that are across the United States, which I'm going to show you some of their pages so you can follow them, they also say have one, intertwine your personal and your professional, so because it shows that you're a real person, and they're going to you're gonna go further with that. But do you have a personal page or do you have a business page? I'm gonna run through this quickly. It's how to tell. So this is my personal page. When you guys open up your Instagram, you're gonna go ahead and hit your profile button. It's at the bottom, if you see right here. Based on if you have an Android or an iPhone, it may look a little different, but you're gonna click that and it's gonna take you to your profile. If the only thing you see is edit profile, you have a personal page. A business page is going to have edit profile, promotions, insights, and email. So if you don't have a business page and you want to turn it to, if you have a personal page and you want to turn it to business, I'm going to run through those steps very quickly. Take a picture of it on your cell phone so that you guys can do it on your own or follow along on the steps. You always want to connect your Facebook business page to your Instagram business page as well. I'm going to let you know how in a minute. But switching over to your business profile, you want to make sure you have the latest version of Instagram app. I don't care if you guys go to the app store and it says you don't have an update pending. Delete the app off of your phone and then go to the app store and reinstall it. That is the only way to actually see if you have the latest version of the Instagram app and get the latest updates. So make sure you have the make sure you have the latest version of the Instagram app. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to tap edit. When you tap edit, you're going to see something that says switch to Instagram business or try Instagram business tools, something along those lines. You're going to want to tap that. And when you tap that, it's going to take you to a creator or a business. You are not a creator. You are a business. So you're going to hit business and you're going to hit next. Instagram is going to walk you through setting up your business profile, and they're going to ask you to connect to your business profile on Facebook. If you don't have a business profile on Facebook, you want to make sure you create one. You want to make sure that you create one for you guys, because if you don't and you hit don't connect to Facebook now, within 48 hours, Instagram is going, you're gonna connect to a Facebook page. Facebook owns Instagram and they want that data. So they're going to create a fake Facebook for you, business page for you, based off of your information on Instagram that will be searchable for other people, and that's not what you want. So go ahead and connect it to your Instagram or your Facebook page. You can confirm or change any contact information, and then you're going to hit done, and it's going to redirect you to your Instagram profile, which should now be a business page. So that was just a real quick editorial on how to do that. Just walk through the steps for you. But today, what are we going to cover? I'm going to talk about the struggle for you guys. I'm going to talk about why Instagram and how it's quickly becoming the #1 platform in the real estate industry. We're going to talk about Instagram business profiles. Excuse me? Okay. We're talking about Instagram business profiles. What are Instagram insights and where do you find them? We're going to talk about understanding those insights, utilizing hashtags and how important they are on social media. And we're going to go through posting tips and tricks, and then I'm going to show you a screen of sister apps. How many of you guys have ever been on Instagram or Facebook and you're like, whoa, that is so cool. How did they do that? I'm going to show you some of the apps that they use. The majority of them are free as well. So guys, the struggle is real. How many people do you have to tell your story to and talk to on a daily basis to get one person that just wants to talk about real estate, right? How many? Well, NAR says on average about 70+ people a day. And besides your cold calling or your floor time or anything along those lines, it's actually a lot easier than you think. If you're out doing your daily things like going to the gym, going to the grocery store, pumping gas, you should always be branded. Anytime you do a video, a Facebook Live, an Instagram Live, anything you're posting that maybe doesn't really have to do with real estate, you should be branded. I don't know if you guys know Carlos Melendez, but he does a great job on his social media stories of whether it has to do with real estate or not. He's always in his brokerage's logo somewhere, whether it's on his shirt, on a hat that he's wearing. He's always branded, so no matter what, people know he's in real estate. I actually, a couple months ago, pulled up to pump gas, and I was in my All My Sons hoodie, and a gentleman pumping gas next to me said, hey, do you work for that company? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I do. He said, can I have your business card because I'm moving? It's as easy as that. And I always say social media is an art and a science. It's a way for people to jump in and out of your daily life without you having to tell your story over and over and over again. When I started with All My Sons Moving and Storage about 7 years ago, I was leaving the house at 7 in the morning, coming back at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, depending on what kind of networking I was doing. And it was me telling my story over and over again. Why do you want to work with All My Sons Moving and Storage? What sets us apart from the other movers in your area? And for those of you who know me well, I love me some me, but I was getting sick and tired of hearing myself speak. So Instagram is really where you're going to share your journey, not just share your content. So why Instagram? Well, it has a growing audience that daily brings in over 4.2 billion likes worldwide. It has 1 billion active monthly users worldwide, and 112.5 million of those users are right here in the United States. 500 million people use Instagram every day, and Instagram is actually 4 apps in one. You have your IG stories, your IGTV, your IG Live, and your Instagram profile. They took the best of all the worlds in social media apps and put it into one app, and you have to be utilizing all 4 of these apps in one. 62% of people became interested in a brand or product after seeing it in your stories. And if you're not using your IG stories as a real estate agent, you're really missing the boat. If you open up your Instagram app, at the top, you're going to see those colorful circles. Those are stories posted by other people. Those are your Instagram stories. And this is a good example of why you want to post in your stories. I can post this exact same photo on my profile. And an Instagram story disappears after 24 hours, and Instagram archives it for you. But just after 15 hours, it had this post had been seen by 497 people, this Instagram story that I posted. I know that in 15 hours, there are not 497 people going to a business profile. It just doesn't happen that way. Maybe if you're an Instagram influencer like Jonathan Hawkins out of California in real estate, but not the average Joe Schmo like you and I. So you really need to utilize everything that you guys have. When you guys actually look at this was at the end of that same post at the end of 24 hours. It had reached 617 Instagram accounts. But look at this, 786 impressions. The difference between, and we're gonna get into this, but the difference between reach and impressions is, have you ever been scrolling on Instagram and you see the same ad or promotional ad for something 2 or 3 times in a row in the same week, you are 1 reach for that promotion, but you are 2 to 3 impressions. So 617 unique accounts, but 786 impressions. That means this Instagram story in 24 hours was seen 786 times. Average Joe Schmo like you and I, we're not getting 786 people to our profile on a daily basis. So super important of why you want to be using your Instagram stories. Lifestyle dominates that Instagram profile, that platform, and you guys are in that, i.e. real estate. That is your domain. And as of January 2020, women are 50.9% and men are 49.1%. This is roughly how that breaks up. 18 to 29 is 67%. 30 to 49-year-olds are 47%. 50 to 64 are 23%, and then 65 plus are 8%. Super important stat here. Within 10 hours of your Instagram post, users receive 50% of their total engagement. That is super important, and let me tell you why. I travel between 2 markets, my Texas market and my Florida market. It's 50-50. I can fly in on a Sunday, go out to eat with some of my real estate people, and post on Instagram a photo of us having dinner. I might leave on Wednesday or Thursday. It never fails. On Friday or Saturday, I always get a text saying, hey, didn't know you were in town. Let's get together for drinks or dinner. Well, they're just seeing on their Facebook feed my post that I posted 7 days ago. That's no longer relevant. Instagram's never going to do that to you. You're always going to see the posts that stay relevant. Nearly a fourth of social media influencers believe Instagram is the top avenue for influencer marketing strategies. And IG drives the most engagement per post than any other social media platform. And Instagram has become the social media platform of choice for millennials. Guys, I am at the top end of a millennial. I'm 37, but I'm still one. Millennials are your first and second time home buyers that are dominating the real estate market in the United States. I don't know anybody who that's not their market. Millennials are going to be on Instagram. They're going to be on that scroll. You need to make something, and I'm going to go through this with you guys, to make them stop and look at something for more than a millisecond of a scroll. So this is why Instagram, and guys, you got to consider it as the new business card. Consistently when I'm out, I'm getting asked what my Instagram profile is, not, hey, can I have a business card? They may ask me that afterwards, but their first question always out of someone's mouth, whether it's high-end networking I'm doing or just a regular happy hour, I'm constantly getting asked for my Instagram. So you guys really need to consider it as the new business card and as a landing page for your followers and for your new clients. What does this mean for you? Well, it's the first place clients are instinctively going to expect to see you. Are you on Instagram? Like I said, when I went down to Miami in January, I flew in for work. I also attended some networking events down in Miami for the Super Bowl. I didn't get asked for my business card. I got asked for my Instagram handle. And are you on Instagram? I want to follow you on Instagram. It is the new business card, and clients are searching for you on Instagram without you even trying, and they're judging your Instagram before even going to your website. A statistic put out by Facebook, who owns Instagram, said that 78% of users worldwide go to Instagram before going to somebody's website. And that's why you need to consider it and treat it as a landing page. Instagram's not going anywhere. It develops impactful intimacy with clients more deeply, quickly, affordably, and easily than any other social media platform. Facebook, I consider the OG of social media. Instagram, although still in its infancy stages, it's really dominating that platform for real estate. So you guys will join it. It's not going anywhere. Get on the bandwagon. Bill Gates has some important information for you. If your business is not on the internet, then your business will be out of business. I consistently do this presentation, whether it's in person or via webinar, from Miami all the way up the Treasure Coast. And when I dig deep into each individual segment that we're going to go into, I use specific examples. And the further south I go into Miami, and that it's hard for me to find examples. Why? Because a lot of those Dade County and even a little bit in Broward County, a lot of those top producing agents are millennials. So, and they utilize Instagram. So it's hard for me to find examples of what not to do or what to do on Instagram. But as I move up, it actually gets easier and easier because millennials don't dominate the top agent market. And so it gets easier to see what people are doing incorrectly and how I can help them fix it. But it's one of those things where Instagram is considered the new internet. And you guys really need to pay attention to it and put some time and effort into it. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna give you guys some examples of some Instagram pages, but your Instagram profile is gonna consist of this. You have your account name and you also have your username. Now, these are the only two searchable areas on your Instagram account. So a lot of, so these are the only two areas. I'm gonna get a little bit more information on that. You have your profile picture, you have your biography, and then you have your website link. You also have your story highlights. These are where your highlights are posted, and that's what they're called, story highlights. And then the two buttons that you're probably gonna use the most are your home button and your profile button. So these are the aspects of your Instagram profile that are important aspects that can change all the time if you want. And you know, as your business changes, so should your biography, so should your website link that you put in there. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So are you searchable? Are you using keywords? Are you using keywords for your audience in the username and the account name? Do you have your last name in both the username and account name areas? A lot of realtors that I see across the board, across the United States actually, make that mistake, is that they're gonna put their first and last name in the username and the account name. That is not necessary. You're cutting the searchability of your account in half. So it's okay, I always tell people it's okay to have your first and last name, maybe realtor in the username, and then the account name, they use relevant keywords, not ones that describe your industry, i.e. realtor. A lot of people make that mistake of using industry description words. Recently, Instagram came out that in direct messages, they don't use your username anymore. They've switched it to your account name. So for example, if you look at my account, if you just search for me for Jameson Olson, if you look at my account, I actually have my first and last name in the account name with some other searchable words in there, and then changed my username. But you don't want to have both in either field. For example, you could use things that when you are changing your username or your account name, words that you want to be using. Think of it as if I were a consumer and I went to Instagram, what phrases or what words would I use to find realtors to work with and find real estates to buy? So you could use Palm Beach homes, South Florida international buyers, Palm Beach lifestyle, Miami luxury living. Insert in what your business is into those things. Those are just some really good examples. There's a ton more. But you really want to use those keywords that people are searching for so your account comes up in the search. And have you identified a clear niche and given it to Instagram? And have you told them? Now, I'm not talking about picking up the phone and calling Instagram in Silicon Valley, but their Instagram tracks everything and they look at everything. So a few things you can do to tell Instagram is you can type, they look at the type of photos that you upload. So you really want to pay attention to what you're uploading because they're going to say, hey, they specialize in this or that. The type of captions you use, again, describing words. Words you use in your bio, even though it's not searchable on Instagram, Instagram is still looking at that. You want to make sure you're developing your tribe of hashtags and you're using relevant hashtags that has to do with your ideal customer. And then also your location tagging. If you're doing a post and you're not tagging a location, you're missing the boat. You're going to rank when people search higher if they're searching in an area that you're consistently tagging. So if you're farming a location, a community, you should be tagging yourself in that community, whether you're there or not, if that post has to do with the farming. If you're tagging the city that you're in, you're tagging your location. Those are things that you want to do. So you always want to make sure you're tagging a location, even if it's a restaurant in the area that you're at, make sure you're tagging it. So when you switch over your personal account, because Jonathan had done a poll and it was actually 50-50, cut in half. Some of you had a personal and some of you had a business already. When you turn your personal into business, or if you already have a business, your bio is what is going to create that first impression of who you are, your brand, your community, and what you do. So that's why I see a lot of realtors making the mistake that they don't have anything in their bio, or it's been in the real estate business 20 years, flag football mom, you know, that stuff and that content in your bio is not helpful. I'm going to show you some examples of what really works. You want to tell in your bio, you want to tell your visitors and your followers who you are and why it should matter to them. That is so super important, not why it matters to you. Nobody really cares that you've been in the business for 20 years, because I've seen some rock star realtors that have only been in the business for 3 to 4 years and they're top producers already and they know their stuff. But tell your visitors who you are and why it should matter to them. That's super important. You want to highlight the most essential information about your business. You want to stand out by using emojis to give it some curb appeal. It's going to show your personality, directional emojis or icons that highlight specific areas like your bio and like the website that you use. Use hashtags, especially if you've created a branding hashtag that you're trying to get out there more. You can always use the hashtags in your bio. And then some other things you can add to your bio to to put some fun is, what is your unique selling proposition? What makes you different than other real estate agents? Are you bilingual? That's huge in South Florida. What makes working with you different than anybody else? For example, this is Jonathan Hawkins. He's one of my favorite people to follow. I'm going to pull up his profile for you guys. And anyone that I pull up as far as a profile and use an example, I highly recommend going on your phones at that moment and following them. Jonathan Hawkins official. At one point in time, his bio stated, hashtag who you hire truly matters. And my mission is to help real estate professionals create a business and life they love. That is a powerful statement. That would make me want to hire him as a social media coach in real estate, because a lot of realtors can't find that balance, and that's okay. But he really captures his intent with just that one sentence. So real estate examples, you guys definitely want to follow these accounts. The first one that I absolutely love and adore, her name is Gogo. It's Gogo's Real Estate. Her profile has changed since I've taken this screenshot, which is okay, guys. Hers reads top 3% in hashtag realtor in the nation with a key emoji, based in Michigan. Click link for Gogo's boot camp, social media lessons for realtors, and more. She is an active EXP agent. She's one of their top producers. But she really, really enjoys helping realtors nationwide grow their social media business. Now, as you can see right here, she uses what's called a link tree. I use a link tree, and I put link trees for the accounts that I also manage. You don't always have to put your real estate website. A link tree, if you go to Google and you type in link tree, they're going to pull up the link tree website. If you click on it, and you have to do this from a computer or a laptop, you can't do it from a tablet or a phone, Linktree will allow you to add multiple links in one landing page, and it's super easy to do. And this is for easy navigation. You can do your first one could be your website to your real estate page. Your second one could be pushing them to your Facebook page. Your third one could be listing your house tips and tricks, how to get your home ready for buyers. And then they could click on that, get your things like that. If you're pushing a charity, on mine, when I did the webinars for the association, the first link I had was my webinar link, so they could go to the association website and register. And I pushed them to that in my bio. So she uses a link tree. I highly recommend using one if you're a real estate agent. They're absolutely great to utilize. What I like about Gogo is that she's consistently giving free advice for realtors on how to grow your business on social media and Instagram. And she integrates her professional world and her personal world very well. She's constantly making fun of her husband and things that he does, and it's funny. So she's a great one to follow. Her IGTVs, I definitely recommend watching them as well. The next one is Jonathan Hawkins Official. I love Jonathan because, again, you know, he's consistently changing his bio. But Jonathan goes a different route. He goes a more video-driven training route, and he consistently is giving little tips and tricks. For example, you can see right here how to scale your Instagram following, and he has a multi-post where there's 10 photos in one post called a carousel, and he's giving you those tips on that, and they work. And he also integrates his business and his personal world very, very well. He's consistently posting in his stories about his son and his wife, and they're great to watch, along with his business world. Now, I'm constantly getting asked, how do I know what to post in my stories versus on my profile? When you start up Instagram and you get good at it, there's really no magic number. You might see them post on their profiles 2 to 3 times a week, but every day they're consistently posting in their stories. These two are great examples of what to post in your stories, whether it's personal or professional. If you follow them, they're really great as examples for real estate agents. So the next accounts I'm going to show you are people that are they're not real estate agents, but they work in the real estate industry as coaches, and they give excellent content on theirs. One of them is Chelsea Pietz. She is out of Arizona. I follow her, and I get a lot of my great content that I post for you guys off of her page as well. Now, Instagram is consistently doing updates, especially COVID updates. And when Instagram does these updates, they roll them out on the influencer pages first. And anytime she sees something that has been updated, she consistently goes to her stories and says, Instagram tip, you know, X, Y, Z. And then she says, I just noticed on my Instagram page that they just updated this. This is how it works. This is what it can do for you. Implement it into your real estate Instagram. Her IGTVs are excellent trainings. She does trainings on videos, how to take them, what apps to use. So she's a great one to use as well. But check out her bio. It said, when I took the screenshot, it said, I share real estate marketing tips that help you grow your biz and make more money doing what you love. DM me for an IG audit. So she has a call to action. Because why DM me? Well, when people on Instagram, that is an algorithm. So she's driving people to send her a direct message, so it affects her algorithms positively. Helpful downloads here, and she's using a directional emoji, and she has her link tree as well. So we do have a question. One of them is, how do I add links in my posts? Well, Billy, you're not actually going to be able to add links into your post. Instagram is not meant for links. Instagram is meant for the here and now. So they're not going to allow you to post links that are clickable. You can post the link all day long, but no one's going to be able to do anything with it. That's why I suggest a link tree. Instagram's not for sending people to blogs. Instagram's not for anything like that. They want to keep you on that Instagram app. So you're actually not going to be able to do that. Nor, unless you have over 10,000 or more people, you're not going to be able to add links into your stories, pics, or videos. So the next one is Dave Tallis. I love Dave. I actually get his daily emails for tips and tricks about social media and Instagram and what he's doing. He's an online educator teaching how to create better content, how to grow your business on Instagram. His content really is awesome content because he's actually in cahoots with Instagram. So all of his content comes directly from them. I consistently am learning different things from Chelsea and from Dave. So he's another great account. I always tell real estate agents, there is enough free content out there for you to learn the Instagram game without having to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for it. Now, if you're going to do a coach like Jonathan Hawkins has the hashtag agent, which I've actually purchased myself for coaching. That's a little different if you're consistently getting coaching on it. But to pay $500 for one presentation, one class, whatever the case is absurd. There's enough free content out there, free videos on YouTube on this, for you guys to get exceptionally good at this art. And these are 2 accounts that can help you do that. So let's dig deep into the different aspects of your Instagram account. And one of them, a huge one for you guys, are your insights. Very, very different than insights from, insights from Facebook. Facebook has a gajillion insights. They have graphs, they have lines going everywhere, up and down, left, right, whatever. Instagram really doesn't do that. They simplify things for you. So this access only comes with a business profile. And if you just changed your personal profile into a business profile, you're not going to see a whole lot of insights. You're going to be able to tap on the insights button, but you're going to see 0. That is okay, because insights are every 7 days, the data for every 7 days. So as you consistently post, or if you don't have any posts, you're not going to have any insights. But as you consistently start growing your Instagram account, they're going to track those insights. Once you've converted it to a business profile, you're beginning to see insights on your content. And there's 3 areas in your Instagram account for you to find your data. One is on your account page. Now, they have a new location. Before, you'd have to navigate to your account page, your profile. You'd have to go to the 3 lines at the top, tap it, tap insights. They simplified things for you. A couple weeks ago, they moved the insights button to actually your profile page. If you have a business account and you do not see this insights tab here, you don't have the latest version of Instagram. Delete it off of your phone, reinstall it, and then you're going to see that insights there. Side note, totally off the path of insights. If you see up here where it says COVID-19 business resources, if you haven't tapped that yet as on a business profile, I highly suggest doing that. When they first came out with it, there was actually a grant that Facebook and Instagram were giving to people to help them to run ads. So they were giving you credits to run promotional ads on Facebook and Instagram that your business could apply for. And I know a couple people who did that right at the beginning. Right now it says no longer available in the United States because I think that they maxed out in this country. But they also have training videos. They also have, I mean, it's an absolute fabulous resource. I use it and go back all the time because they're updating it. So if you haven't checked this area out and navigated through it, please do so. Back to insights. Okay. So you have your profile, you have individual posts, and I use this one all the time, my individual posts. You're going to navigate to an individual post and you're going to click View Insights. And then you can do it through your stories. I showed you earlier why it's so important to use your stories, but I showed you the insights from stories. You're going to tap your profile pictures, you're going to hit Seen By, or you can actually swipe just up and on your own stories and it'll come up for you. But again, the Seen By, it'll show you what accounts have seen it already, and then it's also going to show your insights for that. So let's dig deep into each insight that I just went over with you. Your insights homepage is going to show a summary of data for the whole week. So what you're going to see are 3 different sections within that insight. So if you actually hit that insights tab on your profile, you're going to see content, activity, and audience. The contact section monitors the performance of your feed posts, your stories, and if you run any promotional ads. And if you scroll, if you go to this page and you just start to scroll, you're going to see what I'm talking about. But just for the purpose of let's go deep dive into posts, you can actually hit See All. And when you hit See All, it's going to bring up all of your posts and you can see them by different ways. You can filter through them. So right now I have all. I want to do all the posts, whether it's pictures, whether it's videos, I want all my posts. I usually do it for the last year, but you can also do it for the last 7 days. You can do the last 6 months. And then I like to see it by impressions. But if you hit this one right here, you can navigate to do you want to see it by likes? Do you want to see it by comments? So on and so forth. And this really tells you how your posts are performing. Terry, yes, I can definitely share these for you. And this actually is being recorded as well. So I'm sure Jonathan will be sending out the link. If you navigate from your content to your activity section, it's broken into interactions and discovery. Your interactions are going to show you for the last 7 days the actions taken on your account and what day of the week it was the highest. It's going to show you your profile visits. It's going to show your website clicks. It's also going to show you if you have your contact, whether it's emails, whether it's email and call or email and text, it's going to show you your contact information here and how many times either one was used. Your discovery section. Your discovery section is of the accounts that were reached. It's going to show you what day had the highest reach. Again, reach versus impressions. Impressions are always going to be higher than your reach, which is a good thing. Again, have you ever been scrolling on your Instagram profile and you see the same ad, 2 or 3 times in a week? You are 1 reach of that ad, and you are 2 to 3 impressions of that ad. So that's how you know that it's reaches unique accounts. Impressions are how many times it's actually been viewed. So Dorothy, on your insights with the promote, if you haven't ran a promotion yet, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to see any insights for the promote portion of it. If you have, it's the same as if you were to go to insights for your account. It's going to show you the exact same things we're going over right now. And then if you navigate to your audience button, your audience is going to track the different sections. So it's going to track your account growth by the day. So it's going to say overall, unfollowed, and followed. How many people followed you? Well, on this Wednesday, April 8th, 5 people followed Hard Count Athletics, and the overall growth was 5. However, if unfollowed, if it has 1, so 5 people followed, 1 person unfollowed, the overall account growth would only be 4. So it's going to give you your followers, and then it's going to give you your overall account growth. If you scroll down a little bit further, you're going to get your top locations and your age range. It's going to show you, if you tap the actual bar itself, it'll give you percentages. But this really shows you, are your followers in the areas that you want to sell or buy or work with buyers or list homes? And then it's going to give you your age range down here, all men, women. Now, up here where it says cities and countries, if you hit countries and you have a business account and you see like Pakistan, like 2% or 1%, that's okay. And Instagram's working on it, of trying to shut down fake accounts that people, how people purchase buyers and followers, or followers and whatever the case is. That's okay. Don't freak out about Pakistan or any country that you're like, how did that happen? Don't worry about that. But this is where, and you can do the top locations and age range. And then you scroll down a little further and it's going to give you your gender and when your followers are active. So as you start growing your account and you start using your hashtags and you start following other accounts that are relevant to you, you're going to see when your followers are most active. So for example, on this account, Hard Count Athletics, the followers are more active after 12, after 3 p.m. So if I'm managing this account, I'm not going to be posting at 9 a.m. because the majority of the followers aren't active yet. I want to post when my followers are active. And this data is going to help you understand who your followers are, where they are, and determine if you're reaching your intended audience. So this is an overview into insights from your homepage. Now, utilizing hashtags, very, very important. Hashtags, if you don't know what they are, they get your posts seen by more users. It puts you in a conversation that you were not in before. So, for example, have you ever been to a Miami Dolphins game and you walk into the stadium up on the Jumbotron, it's showing people tailgating in the parking lot, having a great time? Well, those people posted on social media and used the hashtag of the game. And their social media department is scouring the different hashtags that they use to pull pictures from. So when you actually click on a hashtag, they're going to show all the posts worldwide that have utilized that hashtag by most recent to the latest. So they really put you in a conversation that just posting doesn't put you in. Follow hashtags. So when you're utilizing your hashtags, you want to make sure you're utilizing hashtags that people follow, because what happens when people follow them? When people follow hashtags, if you use that hashtag, it's going to show up on their feed and they're going to see it even though they're not following you. So that's why it's super important to do that.
Hey, Jameson, we have a question here on the chat box. You may have addressed it and glazed over it pretty quickly. Dorothy's asking for more of an explanation on the promote button from the insight section. You can come back to it at the end of this since you're in the middle of a hashtag utilization.
No, it's okay because we were on it. We're insights.
Looks like you're reading her comment right now.
So nobody's going to see your insights when it's on, like in your back office of Instagram. So nobody sees them, right? When you promote on Facebook or Instagram, when you run an ad, it's a completely different like overview. But you're going to be able to tell them where you want it to run and how you want it to run. But the Instagram insights are different, and you're not going to be able to see it. People are not going to see those insights. Only you will. Promotions day to connect to a Facebook page. Yes, like I said right at the beginning, you want to connect your Instagram account to your Facebook account. You want to, because to promote on Instagram, it's going to pull from the credit card information that you have stored in your Facebook business page. So you absolutely 110% want to connect it to your Facebook business page. I hope that answers your question. On hashtags, Instagram says posts with at least one hashtag on average increases engagement by 12.6%. So I like to tell people you need to implement a hashtag strategy. And what does that hashtag strategy do? Well, it's going to help grow your following. And I'm going to give you an example of how that works. It's going to increase your brand's awareness, and it's going to boost engagement rates. Now, this is an example of a post that I did for Hardcount Athletics. And this was done in February for their LA tournament. Hardcount Athletics is a youth flag football organization that hosts nationwide 5-on-5 youth flag football tournaments. But their LA tournament, this is when I talked about insights, navigating to individual posts. That's actually my favorite way to see if something I'm doing is working. I'm going to navigate to an individual post, and I'm going to hit View Insights. Now, when you hit View Insights, just swipe up, and this is what it's going to show you across the top. It's going to show you your profile visits. It's going to show you the accounts reached. It's going to show you the actions taken from that post. And what it generated for you. But if you scroll down to discovery, it digs a little bit deeper than your overall account discovery. So this post reached 5,219 unique accounts. But look at this, 80% weren't following you. 80% weren't following the Hardcount Athletics. This was organic reach based on who I tagged in it and the hashtags I used. The reach was 5,219 accounts. The impressions were 5,455. Remember what I said, reach is the unique accounts. Impressions are how many times this post was seen. Of the 5,455 times, from the hashtags I used, and I call it a tribe of hashtags, call it your hashtag strategy. For this tournament, I developed a hashtag strategy in advance. This post was viewed 3,198 times from hashtags, meaning this. Someone was either following the hashtags that I used, clicked on a hashtag that I used, and it brought up the posts, so on and so forth. But that's the power of hashtags. From the hashtag strategies, 3,198 views of this, 98 impressions on this post. It's going to go down to the home. So again, when you open up your Instagram page, it's going to say home screen. It's going to put you on your home screen and people scroll. 822 people saw it just from their home screen. 15 people saw it on the Explorer page. And what the Explorer page is accounts or posts that Instagram say are relevant to you or you may like based on other things that you've liked or who you follow. And then from other, 1,420. The from other, an example is, let's say somebody saw this on their home screen, on their home page while they're scrolling, and recognize the person holding the ball, the boy holding the ball. They comment on the post, and they tag the boy holding the ball. They tag his account. Well, what happens when you tag someone either on a comment, in a post, in a photo? They're gonna get a notification. And when they tap that notification, it's gonna take them directly to the post. So that's what a from other. Let's say that somebody used the repost app and shared this post from Hard Count Athletics onto their own page. Well, now that's going to count as other because other people from that person's following is now seeing the post. So those are some examples of the other topic of that under impressions. But that's the power of hashtags, guys, and creating a unique hashtag strategy. So for example, I like to keep an arsenal or a filing of my hashtag strategies, whether I'm based on whether I'm working with new construction, I'm moving someone into new construction, or working with a builder, or a buyer's agent, or a certain brokerage. Forming that hashtag strategy is so super important. And this is the power of hashtags. So Dorothy asked a question. If she runs on Facebook a promotion or an ad, does it run on Instagram? When you're running a promotion or ad on Facebook, you have to push it to Instagram, and it's going to ask you that question to run it on Instagram. So if you don't choose those options, no, it's not going to run on Instagram. So when we're talking about forming a hashtag strategy or a tribe of hashtags, Instagram allows you up to 30 hashtags on a post. Now, do I use all 30 when I post? Sometimes, sometimes not. But what I do is I chop those hashtags up into 4 different categories: general, industry, location, and branding. And I'm going to give you examples of each one. So my general ones, hashtag sales, hashtag Taco Tuesday. If you're hosting an open house on Sunday, that is your hashtag Sunday Fun Day. I did a post on All My Sons Moving and Storage Instagram last week or the other week, and it was a happy customer photo, and they had their dog in it. So I'm going to put on the post hashtag dogs of Instagram, because why? Hundreds of thousands of people follow that hashtag. So I got more exposure from it. Your industry ones, hashtag brokers open, hashtag luxury real estate. Hashtag luxury real estate is followed by so many people across the country. So is hashtag realtor humor, hashtag just sold. If you're working with buyers, you can do hashtag first time home buyer, you know, things along those lines. But those are examples of just your industry ones. Now, your location ones are important, and I'm going to tell you why. When people are searching for realtors to work with and real estate to buy, they 9 times out of 10 will type in a location into the search field. And where is Instagram going to pull on the search field from? They pull from hashtags, and they pull from the username or account name that I showed you in a previous slide. So location hashtags are so super important. For example, if I was moving to Fort Lauderdale, I wanted to live on the beach, I would probably type into the search bar something along the lines of Fort Lauderdale homes for sale, or Broward County beach listings, things along those lines. If I wanted to live, for example, I have hashtag Wellington luxury homes. That is a location hashtag that people search for every day to find homes to move into and to buy, to find their next dream home. And guess what? What are they going to see? If they like what they see, they're going to click on it, and they're probably going to send you a direct message. And that's how people, especially those top producers down in Miami that are millennials, that's how they're becoming top producers, because they're utilizing their hashtags. And then your branding hashtag. If you guys do not have a branding hashtag, that is an actionable item after this presentation. Find yourself a branding hashtag. I have, hashtag Ninja Jinja. That is my branding hashtag. It doesn't have anything to do with moving, but that's okay. Sometimes a branding hashtag can have to do with your industry. Sometimes it doesn't have to. I work with a company that at closing, they bring champagne. So branding hashtag that is champagne closings. I have, if you see down, I have your mustache realtor. I have a real estate agent in Dallas that's his branding hashtag because he has one of those crazy like mustaches that go like this. So he's known as the mustache realtor in DFW, and everyone knows him by that. Some people don't even know his name. Are people going to search for you by your branding hashtag? No, probably most likely not. However, people are going to know you by your branding hashtag. For example, last summer, the president of the association, Jared Lowe, got married, and he married Jessica Wittenbrink, now Lowe, who is a VP for the association, and I was in their wedding. I didn't get introduced at the reception as Jameson Olsen. I got introduced at the reception as the Ninja Jinja. So people know you by your branding hashtag. There are a lot of people that introduce me as the Ninja Jinja because it's my branding hashtag and that's how people know me. Sometimes I think people forget what my real name is. So branding hashtags people are going to know you by it. I had one realtor that came up to me and she's like, I've attended your class 3 or 4 times. I pick something different up every single time and I don't know how I missed it in the previous class, but I'm having a hard time finding a branding hashtag. I said, well, what do you like to do in your free time? She said, every morning I go to the beach and I take a picture of the sunrise and I post it on my real estate page. And I said, hashtag sunrise realtor. It's as easy as that. So branding hashtags are so super important for you guys. All right. Yes, there may be some misspellings in my presentation because spelling is not my strong suit. Instagram is.
The misspelling is location is supposed to have a K in it, not a C.
What? Oh, okay. Well, that's okay because I spelled realtor wrong on this slide, so that's okay.
There was a question about hashtags. Why do people put hashtags on Facebook? Does it relate back to Instagram?
So hashtags do the same thing on Facebook as they do on Instagram. Facebook's a totally separate community, right? You have to remember that when I say it's about knowing your audience versus posting content, the audience on Instagram is an older generation. It's going to be a slower generation. They're going to stop. They're going to click a post and read it. So hashtags work the same on Facebook, but it does not relate back to Instagram. So that is why it's so very important to utilize them on both outlets. So you're hitting both audiences. Instagram's a little bit of a faster audience. It's a faster pace audience. It's meant for the here and now. It's meant for the scroll. That's why they don't allow you to utilize links or post blogs in Instagram. So you want to put them on both Facebook and Instagram. I hope that answered your question. Can we get this hashtag list as a text? Like me text it to you or keep it so you can copy and paste?
We'll have the slides so they can take from there. Okay. Just make sure you guys correct realtor and location before you send it out.
But you know what? I always recommend so when I say build a tribe of hashtags, my tribe, as you're going to see if you follow me, is I have the same 3, 4, 5 hashtags on every post, whether it's moving related, real estate related, or my personal posts. I have a tribe that I use consistently. It has a hashtag all my son's moving, hashtag Ninja Jinja, so on and so forth. And if you guys, part of your tribe should be hashtag location with a K. That is a great, and all of you should be using it so that it's a community of your brokerage. So you really should be using it. And where do you put hashtags? Well, I put them in my email signature. It's on all of my marketing material, so people know what my branding hashtag is. Hashtag Ninja Jinja is on my email signature. My branding email, the only thing it's not on is my business cards because those are formatted through all my sons. But utilize that hashtag everywhere, not just on social media, because you want people to know that's who you are. Good. So if you're having a tough time coming up with hashtags to use, these are some websites that I have found helpful. You can also Google, you know, it's going to be your best friend. You can Google, when I started trying to figure this out, I Googled hashtags on Instagram, real estate hashtags on Instagram for most engagement on posts. It'll come up with a slew of stuff that's trending. Out of the four websites I'm showing you right now, Flick.tech is my favorite. It's a paid program that actually is very, very helpful when it comes to specific industry hashtags and what's trending. It's constantly up to date, and Flick.tech will be a great investment for you guys when it comes to building that tribe and building those 30 hashtags that you guys need to use to get most engagement and to grow your following. So let's talk a little bit about stories. Instagram stories, again, people are always asking, what do I post on my profile? What do I post on my stories? Does everything you do during the day require a post? Absolutely not. But Instagram stories, you can have 10, 20, 30 stories a day, and that's what you want. It shows your audience your journey. So Instagram stories, in the bar at the top of your feed, those are your stories, and a new story is highlighted with a colorful ring. Now, if you look over here to this one where it says live, I recommend going live at least once a day. Why? Because when you go Instagram live, it's going to stay right there next to your profile picture. Anyone that's following you, it's going to stay right there next to their profile picture for 24 hours until it lapses or until they watch it. So what does that do for you? That is consistent branding for your Instagram followers. And keep in mind, people go on the Instagram app 10 to 15 times a day. I do it more than that. I do probably 10 to 15 times in the morning time. That's why I recommend going live at least once a day on your Instagram. But it's showed by, news stories are showed by the colorful ring. Now, behind the scenes look into your world. That is what people are looking for. When I'm doing a Zoom, I'm posting it. When I'm on a move, I'm posting it. I'm also posting videos and different photos. But that's really what it is. It's a behind the scenes look into your world as a real estate agent, into your world as a single mom, into your world as a family, what you do in your free time, showing that you're a real person. Now, when you do post in your stories, the dimensions are 1080 by 1930 or an aspect ratio of 9/16. That's if you want to take up the entire stories page. Now, on your IGTV, I suggest doing this because if you just post to your IGTV without formatting it correctly, it's going to cut your video off. Now, there are certain apps that I'm going to go over with you that will help put your videos for IGTV and your stories into the right dimensions for you guys to post so everything's seen clearly. So keep that in mind. Your feed should resonate maybe a more polished brand look, and that's not necessarily the case with your stories. It adds authenticity to your profile so people actually know that you're a real person. And this is where you actually can help people. I always tell people in the stories, you know, if you're doing a renovation on a house with an owner that and then you're going to list it, show in the story is the progression from it, and then create a highlight of the progression for that customer. Your story is going to personalize your profile to the fullest. You take your followers on a behind the scenes tour of a listing, document what you do to show your audience who you hire truly matters. That is so super important, and it gives them a real time frame for what you guys are doing that day, not 3 months ago, but that day. And then I suggest spacing out your content. Even if you're at the same event and the event's only an hour, if you have multiple pieces of content, space it out. Don't post it all at once. You want to space it out because it'll appear at the top of the feed as you post it. So if you saw it before, the colorful ring at the top of the Instagram stories, as people start posting throughout the day on their Instagram story, your story is going to get pushed further back. You want to consistently stay at the top of that person's story. So the more you post during the day, the more you're going to show up and the more branding you're going to get, the more insights are going to work, the more DMs you're going to get, the more you're going to positively affect your algorithms for Instagram. Now, on your Instagram stories, I love a good takeover, all right? You either allow a member of your team to take over your Instagram, post their behind the scenes life of that person. So, for example, if I'm on a move and I know I'm gonna be there for a while, I will actually let my movers, my lead on the job, take over my Instagram account and post in the stories, because it's, you guys always see from my perspective in my posts and my stories, but I allow people to see the perspective of a mover, and he can articulate it. So it's another way to show value of your team and what it brings to your clients and your followers, because oftentimes people don't see the behind the scenes of your team or your transaction coordinators or whatever the case is. So allowing people to do takeovers every once in a while is an absolutely fabulous thing. If I was one of Jonathan's agents, I would ask him to do a takeover of either his account or the brokerage account and let them know what a day in the life of one of his real estate agents. As a broker, it's a great way to allow people to see working for Jonathan and being a part of this family is pretty fun. Look at what these realtors are doing. So that's what I suggest. I love me a good takeover, point blank period. So let's talk about creating stories, because I always get this question. You're going to tap your profile picture. And then you're going to tap your profile picture again at the top left once you get to your profile, or you can simply swipe from left to right from the home page. But when you do that, you're going to go ahead and tap your profile picture again up here. Now, it's going to open up a new story for you. I don't recommend taking a picture or a video unless you're going live from within any actual app. I always recommend doing it from your phone because it's edited correctly, the lighting's fine, or it's in the right aspect ratio for you to post. If you go down to the bottom left-hand corner when you open up, that's actually where you're going to be able to find your gallery. And if you actually see across the bottom, if you just scroll here, it's going to show you different things you can do. This is actually where you hit here where it's live. That's how you go Instagram live. Once you do that, across the top, you're going to see your save button. So you see a lot of people will post a story, save it so they could actually post it on their feed or post it on their Facebook. You can add filters up here. This link right here, this link button is actually adding an IGTV link if you want to push people to IGTV. Once you have 10,000 followers, this link will transform to give you options of pushing them to a website, pushing them to something else, but you have to have 10,000 followers or more. 10,000 is that key mark where the Instagram starts unlocking things for you. You have your call to action sticker. You're going to utilize this all the time. You have a drawing and you have your text sticker. So when you hit this button right here, this call to action, these are some of the stickers you're going to be able to use. You're going to tap the icon to see the available stickers. And a pro tip I always give, people are always asking me, how do I add music? How do I do this? Instagram, there's no rhyme or reason. They roll out updates all the time with different accounts, and different accounts have different stickers. Some accounts, like for example, my personal account has the music sticker. Some of the accounts that I manage, they don't have the music sticker. Some of them do. It's not anything that you can do about it. Instagram will just give it to you or take it away at any point in time. But here's some of the ones that I love to use on a daily basis. And what you're actually trying to do with your Instagram stories is create engagement. And you can do that by hitting the question sticker. You always want to tag your location. You can use the thank you sticker, the stay home sticker that they've created for you. Right now they have a business sticker that is being utilized. You can put a countdown in there, a poll. So these are ways to engage your audience. And the more you engage your audience, the more Instagram's going to say, hey, this account is relevant. I'm going to give them more organic reach with their stories and their posts. Now, I always recommend tagging a location, always tagging location and people and companies in your posts as well. Why? Because you're building your sphere of influence. When you do that, and you especially tag people or companies, what happens? They're going to get a notification. What is your point of tagging them so they get a notification? You're hoping that they share your story into their story because they have that option to do that when you tag them. And then who is seeing your account? And who's helping your insights? All of that person or company's followers. So you're building your sphere of influence that way. So make sure you're always tagging companies and people in your posts and in your stories. So some posting tips and tricks that I have for you guys. Your posting sizes. Again, the IGTV, the feed. Your feed is going to have two sizes, the 10 by 80 by 13 by 50 or just your regular square. It's going to pop up in the square at first, and then you can hit the auto size button, which I'm going to show you guys, to make it the original size of the photo. Use your auto size button. I can't tell you how many times I look at a post and like half the post photo is cropped or cut off because they didn't use their auto fit button. Tag people and companies by using the @ symbol. It is good social media etiquette to tag them in the actual post itself and in the photos. If you haven't been doing this and you want to go back and do it, I'm going to show you how now. But when you go to post, it's going to say tag people. Hit that and then start typing the company's names and it'll start bringing up their Instagram accounts. But if you navigate to an individual post and you hit the three dots at the top, this is going to pop up and you're going to hit edit. Side note, if you want to delete a post as well, this is how you delete a post. Once it becomes live, you hit edit and it becomes live, you're going to be able to edit the verbiage as well as tap tag people. And when you hit tag people, that's how you're going to be able to tag them in the actual photo. When you tag people in the actual photo, where does it show up? It shows up in their tagged photos portion of their profile. So again, by doing that, you are broadening your sphere of influence because now who can see that? All of their followers. Nima the speaker says, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen up, with an ear emoji and a finger emoji. Use emojis to make it fun. It gives it curb appeal. But notice what he does as well. He uses dots to separate his thoughts from his hashtags. That makes it easy to read. Again, ask questions to engage your audience, especially in your stories. This was a picture of me that I posted on my Instagram, and I had about 16 to 18 movers in the DFW market outside of my townhouse. And I said, what do you think I'm doing here? You should have seen some of the answers that I got. But the engagement that I had on this story for my followers was massive. And you guys really, this is an example of how you guys want to be engaging people that actually view your story. Use filters to enhance photos. Guys, we are all beautiful people. However, we can all look better on a daily basis, okay? Do not post a picture without hitting it with a filter. This is just on my iPhone. Up top is the original photo. The one underneath it is just hitting it with a few filters on my iPhone. I didn't use an app. I didn't use anything. Do not post your photos without filters. There's actually a board of director who I will not allow to post a photo of me because she doesn't filter her photos. The light is not my friend. I don't have any pigment in my skin. Hit me with a filter. And then you want to utilize your hashtags that are relevant. Here's one where we were donating masks to a hospital. I hashtagged, the hospital's name, community, stronger together, Insta good, moving DFW, hashtag masks, hashtag support healthcare workers. That hashtag strategy is where you're going to implement this. And then use the multi-photo option. It is annoying when you blow up people's feeds with one photo at a time from one specific event. By hitting this button right here, you're going to be able to post up to 10 photos at one time. Now, it might not look like that. It might say multi-select or multi-photo, but it's that one right there. And then use your picture autofit button. We talked about that. This is where you're going to find that, your picture autofit button. So one of the features that Instagram gives you is the edit alt text. It allows you to add keywords behind a photo so that your photos will start ranking on Google Images. Nobody sees this. Think of it as a website where they have keywords behind the website, so it starts pulling on Google when people are searching for things. It's the exact same. You cannot do it when you're posting. You have to post a photo first and then do it. This does not work on videos either. So what you're going to do is you're going to navigate to an individual post, and you're going to hit the 3 lines of the dot at the top. You're going to hit edit photo. And when you hit edit photo, in the bottom right-hand corner of the photo, it's going to say edit alt text. When you tap edit alt text, it's going to pull up every single photo you have in that post. And this is where you're going to be able to write keywords, sentences, so on and so forth, on that actual photo. This is not for hashtags. Don't waste it with hashtags because they don't work. So for example, when you do a post on Instagram and it's 10 photos, you're writing your caption based on the post. If you're doing a listing, for example, this is where you can go into that actual each photo and write specific things about the luxury bathroom or the foyer or the pool area, or whatever the case is about the kitchen. This is where you're going to do it. You can use complete sentences, incomplete sentences, keywords, but this is where you want to do that. And it's like weight loss, right? It doesn't happen right away. You have to consistently do this on every post for Google to even recognize it, but it's going to help your SEO as well, your search engine optimization. So this is really where you want to put that stuff. You can add your brokerage information. You can add your team name, things like that, and it's going to start ranking those photos. But cool part is, this is the visually impaired, they need homes too. And their equipment on their electronics reads the alt text because they can't see the screen. So that is very, very important to know as well. So, and this is free to you with what Instagram does. So coming down to the wire, Instagram sister apps that I use. Here are some great apps that I use on a daily, weekly basis. You can go to appsforlifehost.com to get that caption spacing. I use a repost app to repost other people's information into my feed. I do use Lightroom, which is a photo editing app, and you can actually go to Etsy and download pre-made recipes for it for your photo settings. I use an app called When to Post to find optimal time to post for each day on specific audiences. I use my PixArt for collages. I do have a newer ring light for when I create videos. My InShot app is what I use for picture editing, and I also create videos in that InShot app. It'll give you the posting sizes, so we'll square fit, but the InShot will allow you to write on top of your photos. It'll allow you to put videos together from photos, or edit, put videos together for one video. You can add music, so on and so forth. I use Cut Story. When you post on your timeline, you can only, it only allows you to post 60 seconds, or they make it an IGTV. So what I'll do is, if I don't want it to be an IGTV, I'll upload it into Cut Story, and they will cut it into 60-second videos for me, and I'll upload them in order, and I'll just say swipe to see full video, and they just swipe for it to continue to play. I do use Typorama to add texting, and then I use YouCam Makeup Beauty Plus for photo editing, Watermark Studio X and Watermark Plus for adding logos to my videos and my photos. And then I do use my Gippy app to turn myself into a Giffy, and I can add it to my stories. Now, Facebook just bought Gippy, so hopefully they make it a little bit easier to use when you're trying to brand it, so that when people type in your brokerage name, all those gifts will come up for them in the Instagram app. So these are some of the apps that I use. You guys may have some other awesome ones you want to share for your teams as well. If you got nothing from this presentation, I hope you took this away. It is about sharing your journey versus creating content. Share your journey as a real estate agent. Share your journey as a team leader. Share your journey as your family, head of your family, or whatever the case is. Share the journey you take your customers on, because that's really how people are going to decide if they want to work with you or not. It's the journey you're going to take them on versus content. You know, it's saying 1,000 words with one photo and three words through a 3-word sentence in the caption. My favorite slide of the day. I always end my webinars with a Quarantini recipe of the day. I'd never give you anything I haven't tried myself, but today's Quarantini recipe is a limonade spritzer. You're gonna get a 6-pack of Corona Light. You can do the cans or the bottles, doesn't matter to me. I like the bottles because it has a little bit of a kick to it. You're gonna add 1 12-ounce limonade, frozen concentrated cylinder in the frozen fruit section in the grocery store, 3 cups of Tito's vodka. You're gonna mix it and you're gonna serve. It's great for by the pool. It's great for on the patio. Be careful, it's a little dangerous because you can't really taste the alcohol. But this is one of my favorite Quarantini recipes that I've been making during my quarantine time. So this brings you to the end of the webinar. This is how you reach out to me. This is my contact information if you guys have any questions along with my pages. This is also how you can get a hold of me if you have a referral for moving. But what questions do you have for me? I know that was a lot of information in a little over an hour. You're very welcome, Dorothy.
So any questions that you have regarding Instagram or marketing or leveraging Instagram or anything for Jameson, If you haven't worked with All My Sons Moving and Storage, I highly suggest recommending them. Jameson is your direct contact and can help you with any coordination with that.
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Let's see. Okay.
We'll stay on
Guys,
here.